And welcome back to the morning show. Today's something you may not know, National MPS Day.
That's right, it's a rare genetic disorder, but 2 students are working to make sure you do know everything you need to about it. WCIA3's Jillian Deem live in Muhammad at Sangman Elementary with these students now. Jillian, good morning.
Good morning. We are all decked out in purple this morning, as you mentioned. Students working hard to bring awareness to this day. Definitely a cause very close to them. We have Colin right next to us with his brother Riley and the whole family out here. And Colin, what's today all about? Why are you decked out in purple?
Because it's MPS Awareness Day, and we're trying to spell awareness to people to find a cure for MPS.
Absolutely, and this is a cause very close to you because your brothers are affected by this. Why don't you introduce us to your little brothers over here?
This is Wyatt. He's 4 years old. And this is Gavin. He is 2 years old. And he's sometimes a pain.
That's what brothers do, right? They get on each other's nerves sometimes?
Yeah.
But you do want to support them, and that's why you and Riley are working so hard. Tell us what you're doing today. You're talking to classrooms. You're working hard.
Yeah, we're talking to classrooms. We're going to talk to my brother's classroom and Wyatt's classroom and my classroom. And so we can hand out these pamphlets. And it says, help to spread awareness from MPS. This is Wyatt holding holding Gavin 2 weeks old. And
thank you very much. I can pass this out now, too.
And this is a new book that just got released. It's called My Brother and MPS and Me.
You want to hold that up for them? And what's this all about?
It's about talking about MPS and how if we got it when Wyatt and Gavin were diagnosed in November, then this would have explained what MPS was.
Absolutely, and along, what Colin's saying to explain it, we have Mom and Dad here, Abe and Veronica. If you could explain this to people, what would you like them to know about MPS? What is it? How does it affect, your children?
It's a progressive regression disease, and it actually basically takes them back to an infant state. They will lose motor function and feeding function within their lifespan, and their lifespan is greatly diminished. Our boys' life expectancy is 10 to 15 years. There are some that are more milder cases that get to live to be 50 or 60, but that's still a very young age to be losing yourself. But for us, it's just making the awareness out there and letting people know that this is around, and just making sure that somebody else may be able to find out a lot sooner than we have, and just getting hopefully a cure someday.
Absolutely. As a parent, I cannot even imagine what you're going through, but to see this support out here, to see everyone in purple, here for your sons, what does it mean to you to see these teachers out here this morning and their kids and, everyone that wants to support your family?
It is a great feeling, and I know that there are a bunch out there that couldn't make it because of work or are watching from home, and I know that they've got their purple on in pride today and are going to share their story about Wyatt and Gavin. And I just ask if anyone else out there has yet to get dressed or want to throw on some purple, please do, and please share the story about our boys, because the more awareness we have, the more people that know, and hopefully one day we'll have a cure for this rare disease.
All right, so important for people to be aware. Let's have this group, to help show off your awareness today. Everybody's got their purple on. Let's take a look at this group. We've got ribbons. You've got some purple flowers. We've got everything going on. You've got a ribbon right here. Why don't you show this off for us? And it's got their names on it, right?
Yes.
Looking great. Well, we're hoping everyone can do that. And Riley, you're ready to go with teaching kids all about it today, aren't you?
Yeah.
What are you going to tell them?
That we need help, and we also need a cure.
You do need a cure, and your brothers, you love them, you want to be there for them. What would you want to tell your brothers about why you're doing this today?
Because they are my brothers, and I love them, and they love me.
Oh, well, I think that is very well said, Riley. I love it. Well, you are doing such a great job. We want to thank you all for being here. And coming up in the next hour, we're going to tell you more about what they're doing to make sure that all parents have a chance to be aware of this early on, actually a law that they're trying to get in effect. So we appreciate the law that is in effect recently. So we appreciate all of their hard work, and we will see you in the next hour where we can explain more about that law to you. We'll see you on WCIX.
All right, very good. Thank you, Robert. Nice day outside. That's where we find WCIA3's Jillian Deem. She is live this morning in Mahomet, raising awareness with the family affected by MPS.
All right, Jillian, good morning. How you guys doing out there?
All right.
Good morning, Robin and Cynthia. As you saw in the last hour, there was a group of people out here sporting purple today for the Awareness Day. And as these kids are getting ready for school here at Sangamon Elementary, we're with the Jones family who started this Awareness Day over here at the school, wanting to make sure that everyone knows what's going on. And the big brothers over here are here for their brothers, actually. And we do want to tell you about a law that has gone into effect, something that you've been advocating for, Veronica. Tell us about it.
Yeah, last August, Governor Quinn signed a bill that makes MPS 1 and 2 an infant screening, which makes it an earlier detection for MPS. And for these kids, that at least type 1 and type 2, it allows them to get treatments earlier in life. Had our boys been diagnosed, it would have greatly, hopefully, changed them, because as of right now, the enzyme therapy that they do get is not a cure, and it does not break the blood-brain barrier, and so it doesn't get to any of the brain and where they're affected mentally, and only basically helps with the physical effects of MPS. So the fact that this is a law and it will become an infant screening in that first 24 hours is huge. I mean, it's a rare disease, which means it's very uncommon, but we were blindsided almost 2 years ago, being told that Wyatt was completely fine, to then 6 months later getting told that he's going to live 10 to 15 years.
Oh, I cannot even imagine that, hearing that as a parent. And if you missed it in the last hour, this is just really hard to see. You know, your child essentially reverts, some of the skills that they did have.
Yes, they do. Wyatt has lost every word that he has ever had in the last year, and is basically nonverbal now. And Gavin is slowly delayed with his speech, and we're hoping that, he was a little earlier when he was getting his enzyme therapy, so we're hoping that it will help some and building some of that back up. But all we can do is have hope that the enzyme will help with that with him. But yeah, they've already both had tubes and adenoids taken out, and hearing aids, multiple surgeries, MRIs, in just the last year and a half.
I can't even imagine what they've been put through, and that's why your family is out here at the school this morning. Big brothers are out. Colin is here. Colin, why don't you introduce us to your little brothers?
That's Wyatt. He's 4 years old. That's Gavin. That's 2. And yep.
You were telling us you've got a lot going on. I know you want to show them a book that kind of helped you understand what your brothers were going through. You want to read a page to us, don't you?
Yes.
So why don't we come on here? We can hold up this book, and you can read to them this first page here. Here, I'll hold it for you.
Some days Daniel is extra tired, his hands are too stiff, or his body hurts. So we have a quiet day. On quiet day, we may watch movies, play video games, or read books.
And this is kind of what helped you to understand your brothers are having a tough day sometimes.
Yeah, they're extra tired, and they just can't sleep sometimes. We have a dog that Wyatt had a seizure like 2 weeks ago, and my dog went all crazy, so we got a lab for that.
So, and you guys are there to help calm them down. And Riley, he's here too. You're going to be talking to your school. Come on up here, Riley. You're going to be handing out this pamphlet, right? Show us the pamphlet.
This is when this is all of us, but here's Wyatt when he was 2 years, when Gavin was 2 years old, and Wyatt's holding Gavin right here.
Yeah.
This little picture.
And both Colin and Riley are going to be reading this book, passing out this pamphlet, making sure all the kids know. And what do you want all the kids to know in the schools today?
that MPS is a rare thing, but it has it pronounced as mucopolysaccharidosis.
Wow. And that's complicated to say, but you have mastered it, and I'm sure you're going to be a wonderful spokesperson. Colin, anything that you'd like people to know before we head on out?
Like to know that it's like a rare disease. We need to find a cure. If we find a cure, I will hug who finds it.
Aw, I think that is a wonderful incentive. We want to thank you both. You're adorable for being here. Your little brothers, they said they're going to hug whoever is helping them out today. So we want to thank them both for being here, this whole family. You are really an inspiration for doing this. So we want to thank you for being here. And we'll send it back to Rob and Cynthia in the studio.
All right, Jillian Dean reporting live this morning with the Jones family. They're trying to raise awareness for MPS. Great job, Jillian. We'll talk with you a little bit later.
I wanna leave my footprints on the sands of time. Know there was something that meant something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I leave no regrets. Leave something to remember so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here.
CIA3 News continues now.
A Mahana mother is feeling pain that she wants to spare others. She's urging lawmakers to pass a bill that could teach parents more about their child's health. Senate Bill 1761 would require that infants in Illinois get screened for what's known as Hunter syndrome. It's a disease that affects a child's ability to develop. Most kids who have it aren't expected to live beyond their 20th birthday. But earlier detection could mean a better life for the children and their families. Veronica and Abe Jones knew from the beginning this is what they wanted. A full house with 4 kids, and that's what they got. But not everything turned out the way they hoped.
I was looking forward to helping raise all of our boys and coach their athletics as they all grew up, and unfortunately with the younger 2 that's not going to happen now.
Their sons Wyatt and Gavin both have a rare genetic disease called Hunter syndrome. It causes children to lose their abilities.
I've never heard Wyatt say mama. I am trying to get Gavin to say mama before he loses most of his speech capabilities too.
There's a 50-50 chance that a parent will pass on Hunter syndrome to their children. Right now, doctors in Illinois don't screen infants for the disease. If they would have, the Jones would have changed their plans. They say they wouldn't have had their last son.
It's hard enough to think about losing one child at a very young age, but to know that his youngest, the baby of the family, is going to go through the same steps that he is and have to just deal with the emotions for both of them.
The Jones family wants to give others a better chance at a longer future. Knowing about the disease early means treating it early, which makes a big difference.
For Wyatt, it could have meant the difference of having speech capabilities and not, if we had known at birth.
They want lawmakers to make doctors screen for Hunter syndrome as soon as babies in Illinois are born, instead of waiting for parents to figure out that something just isn't right with their child.
Our hope is, for one, helping one family to maybe not have to find out like we did, because we kind of got blindsided by it.
The bill has passed the House and Senate committees that could go to the House floor early.
It is supporting one mom's desire to raise awareness about a disease. And we're keeping you connected to the Capitol tonight. Veronica Jones has 2 sons with Hunter syndrome. The genetic disease makes them lose their abilities, like speaking. Well, today, Governor Quinn signed the bill helping families like hers. Jones was an advocate for the new law. It requires all newborns in Illinois to be tested for Hunters, which helps since symptoms typically don't show up for several months.
We know that it's not going to go away, but this is something that I could do in order to help the rest of the families out there, and that they don't have to find out like we did and be blindsided by this.
Jones says Hunters can't be cured, but there are treatments, and learning your child has the disease early on can help offset the symptoms.